entrepreneurs go big or go home.
It's going to be the largest startup event ever hosted in the state of Kentucky.
This is where Kentucky's boldest entrepreneurs collide.
Who's taking home over $50,000 tonight? 5 startups, 1 stage, and 1 winner.
Somebody's life is about to change.
The product we just rolled out about 2 weeks ago is called Barrel of Power.
All right, y'all, I need 100% volume. This place is going crazy. You are witnessing history.
This is where Kentucky's boldest entrepreneurs collide.
Who will it be?
Well, hey, it's been really special to have so much of our community show up for entrepreneurs taking risk, building businesses, and really changing what people think about the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Yes,
So,
thanks for being here tonight, you guys.
absolutely.
I think that we've got some really important people
I think we do.
ready to take the stage.
Heck yeah, we're going to have you get back on your feet, and we're going to have you turn into this aisle as we welcome our fearless judges. And first up, the founder and managing partner, the best silver fox in the room. Give it up for Mr. Steve Ewing!
He's the co-founder of Castellan Group, Zealous and Healthlink Dimensions, and a Kentucky Entrepreneurship Hall of Fame inductee. It's Scott Smith!
Up next, he has the best head of hair in the room, founder of RS Ventures, and this year's Kentucky Entrepreneur Hall of Fame Investor of the Year. Make some noise for Brooke Smith!
He's the co-founder and CEO of Hunsicker. It's Wes Murray!
Just so everyone's aware, we love these folks, but they're not really who we're here to see tonight.
We're gonna go ahead and get started and hear from our first pitch.
Hey, Chris Wiedmar here. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Hogshead, based out of Louisville, Kentucky. Hogshead and what we do, we're an online B2B marketplace for bulk barrel-aged spirits. So essentially, we help people buy and sell whiskey barrels. Before they found Hogshead, the hardest part was actually getting price transparency. It was very opaque, very inefficient. You didn't know if you were getting a good deal, a bad deal on the whiskey you were buying. So what we've really done is made it easier and more transparent to see what pricing is in the market for whiskey barrels. Buyers love it now because they can see what real pricing looks like. The sellers like it because we offer this marketplace to a global audience, which they did not have before. And the brokers and the distilleries like it because it also gives them a bigger audience to sell to and to buy through. So really, we've just really opened it up and made it more easy. No different than an Amazon or an eBay, except this time we're just talking about bulk whiskey. Winning 5 Across would be a pivotal moment for Hogshead. It would accelerate timelines and validate that Kentucky believes in our vision. But more than capital, it's about joining the legacy of the Kentucky entrepreneurs who have been on this stage before us, and we look forward to joining them. I'm Chris Wiedmar, and I will be this year's 5 Across champion.
Make some noise for Chris!
Wow. From a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s and watching WWE wrestling, that I felt like Ric Flair right there. That was pretty cool. Quick show of hands. Who in here likes whiskey? I thought I'd have a favorable crowd. Good to hear. Well, we're going to talk a lot about whiskey. Hogshead's a marketplace. No different than eBay, Amazon, except we just deal with bulk spirits, and in this case, American whiskey. Where we add value is we're actually adding a transparency layer and an efficiency layer that has not been in this industry at all. Typically, this industry has been controlled by brokers who have kept pricing opaque, contracts very inefficient. We've shined a light on that and made it easier to buy and sell whiskey. When I talked a few months ago, we really were focused on just charging a transaction fee of 6% on every deal that we do. We also were just getting into what we call barrel to bottle, which is allowing people to pick a barrel and put it into a bottle, and we would charge a consultation and a project management fee there. Since then, we've added a few lines of revenue to us. So storage and insurance has been a new business for us, so we'll manage barrels for clients and charge a monthly fee on that. We have been approached by many banks to give valuations on barrels right now. We've been approached by large alcohol groups as well to give our data on sales price, listing price, things of that nature is really interesting. And another thing I want to mention for any of our startups here, always listen to your customers. And what I mean by that is organically over the past 2 months, we've had a number of our customers come to us saying, hey, we love your platform. Can you all build us a white label solution that we can sell our own private inventory on? And so that's another new revenue stream we'll be bringing into 2026. The market on this is big. Alcohol has always been a massive industry. For us as a startup, we want to be laser focused on American whiskey just because of where we are in Kentucky and what's going on in our own backyard. But there's plenty of opportunities to scale this industry if you look at Scotch whiskey, which is 12 times bigger than American whiskey. If you look at tequila, which is another product we'll be rolling out early next year. And then even one of my co-founders, Isaac, is in Japan right now meeting with a number of Japanese distilleries because they've got some challenges with how they sell barrels. So we've done $350,000 in revenue to date, which breaks down to right at $30,000 a month. I think the most important thing with any startup and any company is your team. And I've been very blessed to be part of an amazing team. Thank you for your all's time today, and I look forward to answering some of the judges' questions. Whew. Yeah, it was tough. I wish I had an extra 35 seconds. Anytime you do any of these pitch competitions, especially the ones that are timed, you know, you practice as much as you want and you're always under, but as soon as you get on that stage, for whatever reason, you know, the time is just moving so fast.
Is it tough? Is every transaction unique in that once you sell a customer, they buy the product and then they got to come back and they reshop it again? Or is it once they use your product and your service, they stay with you?
Yeah, we've had a ton of repeat clients, which is great. You're also changing a big buying behavior, right? This has typically been a good old boy network of phone calls, emails, texts, spreadsheets. And so to change that behavior to moving to an online platform is not easy, and it's taken time. But I think once, to your point, once they've had a transaction, they're like, oh, that was pretty easy. And for us, how we built the platform is I don't care if you buy a barrel or a million barrels, it's gonna be the same experience either way, right? And so that's what we want is more of those, you know, the repeat customers are who we've got, and that's been really cool to see.
What do you worry about the most?
Oh, great question. Samples are the hardest part of our business, right? So if you're gonna buy 500 barrels from us, you wanna taste that whiskey first to make sure it tastes good. And we're trying to get as vertically integrated as we can, but we don't own every storage facility, every rick house to pull that sample. And so you might have reached out to an old school broker to get you a sample, and he got you samples before I did, and I might have lost a deal that way. I know we've lost plenty of deals that way. So that's something that we've got a really interesting update coming probably in a few weeks that solves a lot of that problem, kind of like a Domino's pizza tracker, and there's some incentives for the people to pull samples from a financial incentive. So that's the main thing right now. I think the judges would be right to choose me just for all the metrics we're at right now, right? We're hitting it from a revenue standpoint. We've got product market fit. The team we've assembled is as all-star of a team as you're gonna get. To me, it's a no-brainer.
I'm Ben Reno-Weber. I'm the founder of Essential Innovations. We help unlock tax and training credits for employers who are employing folks from undertapped talent pools. My home state of Kentucky has one of the lowest workforce participation rates in the country. We have been devastated by the opioid epidemic. We have the highest rate of parent incarceration of any state in the country. There are a ton of unseen barriers that are stopping essential parts of our workforce from getting to work. We are working with employers to maximize the tax and training credits that are already available to them. We cannot afford to leave anyone on the sidelines, but we've never really applied technology to supporting that part of the workforce, those undertapped talent pools. Our end goal is to bring people into the workforce who otherwise face barriers that make it very difficult, and we can do that together. I'm Ben Reno-Weber, and I will be this year's 5 Across champion.
Welcome, Ben with Essential Innovations.
My name is Ben Reno-Weber, and there are 2 things you should know about me. First, I have had a very strange cross-sectoral career path, and second, I'm obsessed with squirrels. In the last 10 years since my first venture-backed startup, I've worked in workforce for Microsoft, in healthcare for Humana, in government at the local and state levels, and I run a slew of nonprofits. And if you feed all of those work experiences into AI, that's the squirrel that you get. But it is in that intersection of experiences that I came to the one central insight that drives essential innovations. And that is that there are tens of billions of dollars of untapped resources that are available to help employers to meet the current workforce crisis, and only a small percentage are utilized. We use AI and robotic process automation to replace previously time-consuming and scary processes with a simple, easy-to-use process that maximizes revenue for our partners. How easy is it? It takes less than an hour to onboard. You usually have to add 2 pieces of paper to your process and then send us a monthly payroll export. When I talk to my HR squirrel friends, what do they say? That was easy. And the market for this is huge. Between 10 and 15% of the US workforce is eligible for at least one of these credits, which range from between $500 to almost $10,000, making this a $60 billion market. What do our investors say about it? That's a big nut to crack. So far this year, we've processed 350 hires, unlocked $50,000, which will turn into $100,000 as long as they stay employed, and that's not even the exciting part. This is the exciting part. Across our country, there are hundreds of organizations, nonprofits, and government agencies that are dedicated to helping people get and stay in jobs. When they hear what we are doing to support employers employing their populations, they become our best source of leads. So far, in Q4 alone, we have gotten more than 30 inbound leads from 12 active channel partners, and that's how we get scale. And we have competitors, and we love them. We love them because they educate the market about the one workforce opportunity tax credit, and then we come in and say, hey, we can do it easier, we can do it cheaper, and we provide much more value than they do. I have the most amazing team in the world. Where are my squirrels at? We create a flywheel that supports both our economy and centers the people in it. And we'd love your help. Thank you.
I think the pitch was fine. Timing is always an issue. Hitting those notes and being in front of a crowd that size, it's really energizing, it's really terrifying. All your rehearsal goes out the window and it's just you and the crowd, and you hope maybe you get a couple things from your slide right.
Can you explain your revenue model again?
Yeah, so we work with a company, for example, Hunsiger. Hunsiger becomes our client. When they hire folks who are eligible for one of these credits, we say we work with them, get them those credits certified by the state, we take 10%.
That first bit of understanding the business is always the hardest, and if judges don't buy that from the outset, nothing else matters.
Can you remind everyone what the market size for this is?
So the problem with the market sizing exercise here is that...
Oh, you're just going to give excuses, or are you going to answer a question?
Screw you, Steve.
$60 billion.
Thank you.
What keeps you up at night in terms of the business? Is it changes with legislation or something different?
When Scott asked the question, what keeps you up at night? I mean, that's every entrepreneur has that kind of anxiety. Something is keeping you up at night all the time.
What keeps me up at night is exactly the same thing that creates the problem. HR is so overwhelmed that they don't capture these tax credits. Actually means that even after the CEO or CFO has said yes, it takes longer than it should to spend the 1 hour that it takes to onboard us. That keeps me up at night.
With all the tax credits, how do you focus on picking one industry or one particular niche?
You know, what we're doing is letting our clients lead us. The thing is, our system only has to learn it once. This isn't like crazy LLMs. This is one-to-one, your name, your household income, your demographic, match those things, and the state certifies the credit.
Thank you.
We have a company that if it works in Kentucky, will change tens of thousands of people's lives. And if it can work in Kentucky, it can work anywhere. And that's why all the judges except Steve would be foolish not to choose us.
I'm Jawad Papalzai, and I'm the founder and CEO of DataRovers. We are a technology company, and we have a SaaS-based platform which helps healthcare organizations fight claim denials. You never know how big a problem is until you dive in. In healthcare, what a patient sees is direct patient care staff. Behind the walls, behind the screen, there is a whole army of people that fight for reimbursements from insurance company. I've been in clinical medicine seeing patients for about 12 years. Over the years, I've seen an increase in the administrative burden of healthcare, which has shifted the focus away from direct patient care. I have seen this problem multiplying over and over year. I would like to get that focus back, and that's the goal of our company. Focus where it needs to be. That is patient care. I'm Jawad, and I'm gonna be this year's Fibercross champion.
Make some noise for Jawad with DataRovers!
Right. Good evening, everyone. So tonight I'll try to be not the most boring guy on the stage here and nobody likes hospitals. I happen to be a guy who loves hospitals. I spent more than half of my life in the hospital. I even love hospital food. My wife always makes fun of me. Whenever we go to the hospital, the first thing that we get asked about is, show us your insurance card. And I would say, I'm a patient, like, all right, I got a valid insurance, so it should be all covered. I wish that was the case, but it's not. Out of every 100 claims or encounters, 15 on average out of them get denied by the insurance companies. But in order to get it back, the money that you deserve, we want you to go through all of these processes. You need to convince us that this was true. And that's where we come in. Everybody in the room is aware of ChatGPT. We do the same with large language models to do what everything insurance is asking the hospitals about. So what we do is they asked us to write an appeal letter. We write the appeal letter. They asked us to fill out the claims. We fill out the claims. Out of the box, it increases staff productivity by 66%. And that 66% is before any integrations to EHR, medical records, legacy system has happened. So we have a lot of room to grow. So we had 3 POCs. Out of them, 2 are now moved into a commercial contracts. We want to scale up to at least 20 hospitals next year by December. That's our goal. And we expect a monthly recurring revenue to go up to $30,000 per month. Thank you. Pitch went well. When I'm up on the stage, I don't think of anything else. In the mode, you're in the flow. We'll let it flow, and it flows perfect.
So describe your revenue model. How are you getting paid by the provider for your service?
We get paid by the volume. And our eventual goal is to get on the contingency model, the amount of revenue we generate for them. That will be our eventual goal. Currently, we're volume-based, and with our partners, we share revenue with them.
Why are you looking to white label versus go directly to the customer? Is the customer the hospital, or is it the RCM, the revenue cycle management? Which one do you prefer?
Both. We are currently through RCM. They are using our software for their internal use. They're white labeling it, selling it to the hospitals as well. Just to become an approved vendor for a hospital, it's at least 12 months of process. So we're cutting that. By next year, goal is that we are also with multiple hospitals direct contracts. Margins are higher, stakes are higher, it's much better business.
You struggled, you went through school, you became an MD. Why the hell would you want to be an entrepreneur? Wait, don't answer that. Don't answer that. We're going to skip that. Tell us more about your advisors.
Steve was difficult. Or he was trying to be difficult there.
What is the biggest challenge you're currently facing? Don't give us pitch stuff. Tell us the real stuff.
He was like, as if he was grilling me on the stage. He was trying his best, but it's not going to work. The time it takes to go through the hospital bureaucracy, it is limitless. It may take 12 months to 2 years to get to those. So we're cutting that. Thank you.
Everyone give Jawad a nice round of applause.
Everything was expected. These businesses are not for everybody to start with. We are at the crossroads for change in revenue cycle in healthcare, and we're going to be one of them.
My name is Justin DeWitt, and I'm the Business Development Officer here at MotorVision. MotorVision is an application like no other. It actually provides preventative maintenance, tracking, and monitoring information for devices throughout the industry of manufacturing, pumps, and other applications.
One of the big problems in industry right now is we have a lot of aging equipment that's in the field, and so that means there's a lot of breakdowns. We came up with a solution to monitor the aging equipment in a way that could predict when something was going to fail.
Companies lose so much money just from their lines going down. And with something like, say, just-in-time manufacturing, if a line goes down during those processes, they're done for the whole day. That can add up tremendously.
The more anybody else is succeeding, the more we succeed. America's manufacturing capacity has been declining for a while, and so we need any leg up we can get. And this is it. This makes any manufacturing facility more profitable.
It's a privilege to be a part of Fibercross. And to us, it's really about getting the word out.
Because at the end of the day, the growth of networking is exponential. I'm Justin DeWitt.
I'm Timothy Mills.
I'm Dr. Elijah Jensen.
I'm Nathaniel Vetters.
And we're going to be this year's Fibercross champions.
Rise to your feet, make some noise for Justin with MotorVision.
About 2.5 years ago, I was at a client's, and we were looking at a facility, and they made munitions. We noticed something that wasn't quite right with some equipment, and I stepped out, didn't push it like I should have, and 24 hours later, that place blew up, and 3 people lost their lives. About 80% of all critical pieces of equipment tend to fail because of electric motors. So we realized that there was a solution that needed to be developed. And that solution needed to be able to cover vibration, heat tracking, and power factoring, because those are the 3 critical things that maintain and monitor that level of equipment. We didn't start off that way. We started doing the same thing that everybody else tried to do in this industry. We installed this technology in very expensive motors, and we tried to sell the motors. And we still have a motor business, but what we realized was a lot of companies didn't want to go and replace a $200 motor with a $20,000 motor. So we thought, what if we took the technology out, made it a non-invasive external connection system that anybody could use on any type of motor? And that's what we did. And that's what MotorVision does today. We focus on these 4 segments: industrial manufacturing, HVAC boilers, aerospace and defense, and production and hydro. Areas that's critical for not only our infrastructure and economy, but also has critical security pieces on preventative maintenance that we need to make sure that we've got coverage for. Our value model looks like this. 836K is our target for next year, with a $2.8 million rise in year 2 and a $6.5 million rise in year 3. Now, I couldn't be up here today and talking to you guys without my amazing team. Thank you guys so very much. I'm MotorVision, and I'm here to serve everybody in Kentucky. The pitch went phenomenal, with the exception of Steve, who, well, we ain't gonna talk about that on camera.
Take a moment and describe what your revenue model is. How do you charge your customer? How do they pay you? What do they pay you? Why would they pay you? No, don't answer why.
So we generate revenue through a monthly SaaS subscription fee. That's the predominant amount of our revenue. We do have a hardware component.
Well, how much is it?
It depends, it's tiered. So if it's 1 to 5 users, it's about $200 a month for 5 users. The more users you get, the cheaper it gets per user.
How much is the sensor that goes on the motor?
Sensor that goes on the motor is $525.
Do you charge them $525?
We do charge $525.
If I bought more than one, would you sell it for $520? 49 cents?
Steve, let me finish. God. Well, I tell you what, if you buy 100 of them, I'll sell it to you for 400 even. We'll do a break even on it.
Is your product patented, or can anybody use this technology? Where's it coming from?
So a couple of pieces of the technology have been filed and patented. We do need to go ahead, and that's one of the things for our investment round, is to get some additional patents to protect additional levels of our equipment.
What's your ability to scale?
That's a great question. So right now we can run about 100 production units a month. Our goal for every additional person on the line that we can get, we can ramp that up between 75 to 150 units a month. But in addition to MotorVision, we have 5 different products that we're going to be scaling over the next 3 years to roll out, creating a full end-to-end CMMS system. We're the only product out there that has multiple verticals to scale into. We've already got a proven track record, and by far the best ARR of any solution that we've just pitched. All I gotta say is, if the judges don't pick us, they're gonna be reading about us in the New York Times and really wishing that they would have been on board with us.
My name is Jen Hartman, and my company is PitchPlease. PitchPlease empowers influencers to instantly find and connect with decision makers at their favorite brands. This is not my first rodeo. I am a second-time founder. I have had a PR agency for the last 6 years, and I've had the opportunity to work with thousands of influencers. I have seen influencers struggle with the same problems again and again. There is confusion around legal terms, they're not getting paid, their content is getting stolen, and with PitchPlease, we are aiming to stop this and put creators back in control. With PitchPlease, they're able to instantly find the person at the brand who's responsible for influencer marketing budgets and pitch them using AI support. Fibercross Finals means that PitchPlease will have validation behind what we're doing. If the crowd could help me with one thing after Fibercross, it's telling any of your creator friends that PitchPlease even exists and it's an option to help them cut down on hours a week and to make more money. I'm Jen Hartman, and I will be this year's Fibercross champion.
Make some noise for Jen with Pitch, please.
Hey guys, my name is Jen. I'm the founder of PitchPlease. Imagine if every content creator had access to the tools they needed to quickly find and pitch decision makers at their favorite brands. The creator economy is absolutely booming. It's a $250 billion, that's right, billion with a B, industry, but it's expected to grow to $528 billion by 2030. Brands are dumping more money than ever before into creator partnerships, but creators don't know who to pitch or how to pitch professionally, and brands are desperate to work with high-quality, reliable creators. With our AI pitching tool, creators can quickly edit and fire off a pitch to hundreds of brands. This is a task that once took hours, but now takes just seconds. With real-time reporting, creators can see exactly when their pitch lands, so they know when to follow up, and they're able to close brand deals quicker than ever. I've had many conversations with my customers, and they have said it's not uncommon for brands to post a role at a super high rate to hook them in, just to pay them pennies when they deliver content. It's like a legal bait and switch, and it's terrible. Creators are getting screwed left and right. PitchPlease flips this model, and we are putting creators back in control. During beta testing this summer, we saw that 90% of our users were on the app every single day. We then launched and onboarded 229 creators in our first 8 weeks, and we helped them close $47,000 in brand deals. We are just getting started. Creators, download the app, test us, roast us. My goal is to create the best creator app on the market, and I need your help to get there. I've spent the last decade in the industry, and I've really gotten to see every scam, every loophole, every broken workflow, and PitchPlease is the answer to the chaos. Investors, if you believe in the future of the creator economy, let's chat.
So the pitch actually went perfectly. I have rehearsed it so many times at this point, it's kind of like muscle memory. I get up on the stage and I just kind of black out. And so that went well. I would say what didn't go well are some of the questions I got after the pitch.
Where does the money come from that meets it, the creators?
The money comes from the subscription at $20 a month.
How do they get the money to pay you?
I was like, from their credit cards?
Yeah, I think I know where they're going. Just how do you, what's your model for, like, if I'm a creator, how are you finding me opportunities to pitch to a brand?
Something that I could have improved on is giving more background on what a creator is and why they're important. I feel that because of the judges' age, they might not have really understood the creator economy and how it works. They go in, they search for the brand pops up right away, they click on it, their contact information pops up right away, and they can pitch them directly in the app. And so what happens is that email will land in that influencer marketing manager's inbox.
How are the brands finding you?
They're not, it's not a marketplace.
How do you find the brands?
Steve is not popular, is he?
We find them through a platform called Rocket Reach, and so we use that platform, they scrape the data, we have it updated in real time on the app.
Last question for me. You said you got 1,000 revenue. So what's your month-over-month growth or year-over-year growth? Where do you see it going? I mean, how are you going to get from 1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 to 1 million?
Yeah, great question. It's going to be adding on additional tools and features, adding in some paid ads as well. My background is PR and marketing.
Now, they always ask for everything, but what is the key feature that would cause them to come to you?
Yep, and this is what we're working on next. It's an AI inbox assistant. So what will happen is we can monitor inbound opportunities for our creators, and then what happens is it responds automatically, it can negotiate rates. And so they would spend hours in their inbox every day. Now they're not doing that anymore. They can spend more time creating content, which is what they actually want to be doing. So this is a tool that people have been asking for, begging for, and we're working on it.
The judges would be wise to pick us because we have traction. We just launched and we're only going up from here. We're going places.
That is the question that I want you guys to think about. As you think about the winner, who is the company that if you had to, it's your money, you have to choose one that you will invest in tonight?
The problem that we have is that we're all entrepreneurial, and we're going to sit here and talk about the value of the companies and how we would make them better. Really, we just need to pick one.
I felt like there were 3 standouts.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I will tell you, I think that PitchPlease was the most creative idea because huge market, everybody wants to do it, you can sell hope.
So people pay $20 a month for hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually really like a B2C product.
It's great in terms of the market, but B2C is tough.
Well, she didn't talk about crowdsourcing either on the marketing side, which is a big thing, right? Like Coca-Cola hires an agency who's a crowdsource agency, and then they get a whole bunch of people to compete to do it, right? And that's...
You put it best. You called it a curated LinkedIn.
I call it a curated LinkedIn. Like, make a connection. And that makes, you're selling hope. And I might do that for 6 to 8 months. Yeah. I don't know how big the user base is. You keep it going.
Well,
That's what I mean.
That was my thing. Can you keep it going? The churn on that is going to be massive because people are going to stop paying for it, blah, blah, blah.
So Essential Innovations focuses on all the tax credits that are related to hiring people with different demographics. And then they use AI as they get a general application filled out.
He did go after the ones that I thought were most interesting, which were in the skilled trade area. And I think even the federal government has tax credits in that particular area, and they're much more lucrative.
We're going after HR, right? I mean, they got it integrated. I just didn't understand that business.
So many small businesses don't even bother, and he's right on this, they just don't bother to go. It's free money, Joe.
Hey, look, anywhere you can find found money that you don't know about or you can't get to, you want to get it.
I think it's an exceptionally innovative solution to like a market that no one's really paying attention to. Yeah,
what I don't like about it is it can change overnight with administrations, there could be government shutdowns, so there's a lot of variables. And I thought that he was looking at it in too broad of a fashion instead of maybe focusing on something that was specific to an industry and really diving in. I mean, the motor concept was pretty simple.
I personally, that was the one that stood out to me. Massive problem.
It's easy to understand, which means it's easy to sell, right? There's motors everywhere. It can attach to pretty much any motor. It's fairly economical.
The one thing is that he didn't talk about though is like it's for in-place equipment. All your new motor and equipment systems has all that shit built into it.
Yeah, I remember he had aging stuff.
Yeah, so like he sort of buried that lead.
I liked it the most until you just said that.
Yeah, and that tempers it for me a little bit, but there's so many old freaking motors out there.
Oh, there are.
No one's going to replace that thing until it breaks down.
That's right.
The reason that I pulled back from MotorVision is the cost of the device to monitor my...
I mean, that adds up in a factory. If you got like, 20, 30 motors.
Third.
Yeah, 20 or 30 motors. That's not immaterial.
What about Hogshead?
The low part for me on Hogshead was his revenue model. I would say that he said all those things because he's having trouble with the commission model.
I mean, that's got to be, he's just not getting enough volume. Well, the business he's replacing is an old school broker model.
The good news about that business is he's getting a lot on his platform. Yeah. And when the market turns, it's sticky and they're already on there. And if there is a way to move this stuff, then he's going to be the guy sitting at the front of the line.
They can for $250 of commission on a barrel, where this system is completely transparent.
All right, let's go out there and announce the winner.
Hey guys, you ready? All right. We have a room full of awesome Kentuckians. The goal is not to just see a cool event tonight and be a part of it, but for each of you to figure out how you can become a customer and support some local entrepreneurs. So please, I want to encourage y'all, be a customer, support your local startups, and let's finish this year out very, very strong. All right, y'all. I want everyone to get ready with a little footloose, because we're going to find out who was tonight's crowd favorite. And tonight's crowd favorite for the 15th anniversary of Fibercross 2025 finals is Justin with MotorVision! Hey, come on, baby! Nice.
All right, now I'm gonna ask for a little bit more energy, but I want you to hold a little bit back because we still have a winner to announce. So it's time to announce our 2025 runner-up. The founder taking home second place tonight is Chris with Hogshead!
Alrighty, y'all, on your feet, on your feet. You are witnessing history. Everyone rise up. You got noisemakers, you got lights, you got clappers, because we are figuring out, of 15 years of Fibercross, who is crowned this year's champion. I want this room to disrupt that movie, then yell at me. So everyone, full volume, make some noise, because the 2025 Fibercross champion is going to be with the Central Innovation!
It's a big deal. For companies at our stage, $50,000 is the ability to hire another developer. It's the ability to bring products to market faster. I mean, it's a big deal.
The thing that edged out the decision is your company had a very simple yet an understandable business model that we thought would be easier for people to get behind. One person said, "Oh my gosh, if you're finding people money that they didn't know they could get, that's a pretty special place to be." That edged out the second and third place people just by a smidgen, and that's why we selected Essential Innovations.
I am humbled and honored and so glad to be a part of this amazing startup ecosystem. And what is amazing about it is what you are able to inspire people to do. After the first go round of co-founding MobileServe with Chris Head, I could not imagine going back into this universe, and it was the encouragement of the people in this room, especially my amazing wife and fantastic squirrel team, that made it happen. So thank you guys so much for what you do. Honored to be here.
To be able to even be on the stage was an honor. To win it is beyond any of my expectations. You know, I think in Kentucky we have big problems to solve, and what I think that these judges understand because of their experiences here is how important it is to invest in the companies that can solve the problems that we have. We have problems with workforce that those judges understand. We have problems solving the niches, and they know that. So I'm grateful that they voted for us, and I'm grateful to be a part of this process.